Hi, welcome to Elma Wine and Liquor. I'm Tim. Thank you very much for all of you who tuned into our last video and left us nice comments and gave us great feedback. We really appreciate it. This is something we plan to do more often this year, so if you have any questions or specific topics you'd like us to discuss, please let us know in the comments below or shoot us an email. Today we're going to be talking about the word vintage. A lot of people get confused or have misconceptions about the word vintage. All that the word means is the year that the grapes were harvested. That's it. Nothing fancy, nothing overpriced, just means that the grapes were harvested in that year. You'll find that white wines are typically a little bit younger. They're put out a little bit faster, so you'll see more recent years on them. Whereas some red wines you'll find are a little bit older. The years will be 2-3 years before they're released. That's simply because red wines are more often made using oak aging. They spend a little bit more time before they're released. There are exceptions to that, as with everything in the wine world, especially with white wines. Chardonnays are typically aged a little bit longer. Some of them are aged in oak barrels for anywhere from months to years. So just a tip for red wine drinkers that don't particularly care for those oaky flavors that you get in wine, you're going to want to look for a younger vintage wine, something that was released or harvested as early as the year before. So you know that they couldn't possibly have spent that much time in oak barrels. In the US, and especially with some of the bigger brands, you'll find that they are moving to the market more quickly than other parts of the world. I have a Spanish wine here, for example, that was, the vintage is 2011, but it was just released to the market this year. So whereas some US wines will be released within a year or 2 years, especially with the bigger brands. Also with the bigger brands, you won't find a ton of difference from year to year, as their winemakers have gotten pretty good at making sure that the flavors stay the same. But when you talk about some of the higher end wines, especially like with a wine like Camus here from Napa Valley, you'll see we have two different vintages, the 13 and the 14. Both received a 94-point score from Robert Parker, but in the tasting notes for each of them, the 2013, they talked about the loads of blackberry that it contained, whereas in 2014, they mentioned only hints of blackberry and strong cassis flavors. So if you had them side by side, you would definitely know the difference, but the main substance of the wine, the main flavors, will still be consistent from year to year. It's something fun you can try on any quality, any price point of wine. If you ever happen to notice when the vintages are switching over in the store, you might see a 2014 and a 2015 on the shelf. It might be worth your while to pick up both of them and test them out side by side to see if you can pick up any differences. So, in summary, all the word vintage means is the year that the grapes were harvested. That's it, nothing else, not too fancy, just a very simple word. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate you watching, and please leave us your comments or feedback in the comment section below. Thank you very much.